Hello, good evening, and welcome to yoga. My name's Diamond, and we are going to go through a gentle all levels practice tonight, focusing on flexibility in the lower body and also getting into our breath to try to ground us for the evening and get us ready to go to bed. You shouldn't need any props, although blocks are always handy to use. If you don't have any blocks, you can use books or just something large and sturdy. You can also use a blanket to prop your hips up on or to put over you in the meditative portion of practice. But other than that, we can get started. We can start just anywhere on your mat, standing, ground down, and lift up all 10 toes and then place them down on the ground. Try to press every single toe and even the pinky toe. And then also put weight in your heels and press down through all 4 points of the foot. So the big toe mound, little toe mound, and the left and right side of each heel. From there, we're just gonna stand up tall, roll the shoulders up and back. And just take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. We're gonna start moving here. So we're just gonna start on an inhale, swing the arms to the right. And then on the exhale, swing the arms to the left. And then we're gonna continue this way. Inhaling to the right, exhaling to the left. Maybe pick up the pace if you would like, or slow down the pace. I'm stepping on tape. But follow your own breath. Try to loosen up. You can be soft in the knees here. The arms can swing really wide, or you can keep the movement really small. And eventually begin to slow down, come back to center. Drop your arms, open the palms to the front of your mat and close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Keep the eyes down closed. Notice how you feel. Do a check-in with the body. Start with the feet, move your way up through the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips. Check in with the belly, the arms, up through the shoulders. Can you relax them? Relax the jaw. Relax the forehead. And then bring one hand to the heart space and one hand to the belly. Keeping the eyes closed here. Begin to inhale for 4 counts. And then exhale for 4 counts. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Continue breathing in this way, keeping each inhale and exhale equal length. Maybe you extend each inhale and exhale to 5 counts, to 6, or you can stay at 4. We just want to breathe evenly here. Notice how the belly and the chest expand on the inhale. And make sure you completely exhale all the air out of the body. Let's go a few more rounds of breath here. And then begin to drop the hands, keeping the eyes closed still. 5 more breaths here. And then on your last exhale, bring the feet together. Bring the palms together at the heart space. Take one deep breath in. Exhale it out. Open the eyes. We're going to move through a few rounds of some sun salutation variations just to get the body moving here. We'll start with some quick movement and then we'll slow things down at the end. So let's inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, flat back, fold forward here. Inhale, lift the body up halfway, create a flat back. Your hands can come to the shins or the thighs here. And then step the right foot back, come into a lunge position just for a second, and then step the left foot back. Lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Heels come towards the ground, press into the hands and feet evenly, and look towards the back of your mat. Take 3 more breaths here. And then step the right foot back up, followed by the left foot. Roll the body up to stand on an inhale. Lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart space. Once more. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold from the hips, lead with the chest, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step the left foot back this time. Step the right foot back. And then from here, we're going to step the left foot back up. Meet me in a forward fold. And then slowly roll the body back up to stand. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart space. On your next inhale, we're going to bend through the knees, lift the hands up. Hips come over the heels. We're in chair pose. Feel free to keep the feet hip distance apart, or they can be together. Tailbone tucks under, bend a little bit deeper. Exhale, fold forward. And then you're going to step the feet back into plank pose. Feel free to lower the knees on the ground here. And then we're slowly going to lower down knees, chest, chin. And then come forward, squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades together as we lift through the chest. Come into cobra pose. Lower the body down. And then press the body up. You can go through all fours, plank. We're going to meet in a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, step the right foot up toward the middle of the hands. And then we're going to lift up into high lunge. Left heel reaches back behind you. Keep your center underneath you. Pull that right hip back. And then lower the hands down. Step back into plank. We'll take knees, chest, chin again. Come into this funky caterpillar-like pose. And then we're going to slide forward. Chest is going to come up. Elbows and shoulder blades come together. And then we're going to press back, meet in downward dog. However you may get there. On your next inhale, step the left foot up in between the hands. Lift the hands up, pull the left hip crease back, press the right one forward, high lunge. And then lower the hands to the ground, frame the foot, step back into plank. Once more, knees, chest, and then chin come to the ground. Come forward into baby cobra. And then meet in downward facing dog. From here, let's walk forward to the front of the mat. Take as many steps as you would need. Meet in a fold. Again, hinging from the hips and not the low back. And then as we inhale, the arms are going to swing up. We're going to bring our hips over the heels and squat into chair pose. Take an inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper, and then release to stand. Hands come down towards the side, palms shine forward, close down the eyes, take a breath, Tadasana, mountain pose. On your next inhale, bring the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, dive forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands could be to the shins, the thighs, or to the floor, if that's accessible. And then we're just gonna step back into downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. Tailbone reaches up towards the sky. Heels pulling down towards the mat. Activate through the legs. Press evenly through both hands. Press through all 10 fingertips. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, not allowing them to bunch up. And then slightly tuck your rib cage under. Your lower ribs, and then look towards the back of your mat. From here, we're gonna look up in between the hands. Step the left foot forward. We're gonna come into this lunge again, but we're going to leave our hands on the ground this time. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, the left leg is gonna straighten, and we're gonna pull that left hip back, and then begin to fold over the leg. Inhale, come back into that lunge, right heel reaching towards the back of the mat here. And then exhale, straighten both legs and fold. Again, from the hips, leading with the chest. Repeat this a few times. Inhaling to this lunge. Exhaling, fold. Once more. And then hold. From here, we're gonna put a slight bend in both knees and then start to pivot the feet as we walk the hands over our right side of our body and bring our hands in between our feet. We're gonna come into a wide leg stance, folded over, toes pointed in together, heels slightly pointed out. Bring the hands in front of you. Let's create a flat back here. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine, crown of the head reaches forward. As you exhale, begin to fold. You can stay up here on the hands. This is a good place for blocks if you'd like to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. And if you would like to, you can walk the hands back behind you so they're in between the feet. Crown of the head is reaching towards the ground. And again, we're folding from the hips. Tailbone is reaching up towards the sky. Two more breaths. You can always play with bringing the feet closer together or further apart to see if that suits your body a little bit better. And then inhale, walk the hands up out in front of you so you can come to this flat back again. From here, we're going to reach over without moving the hips to grab our right leg. So there's a tendency to kind of shift the hips as we move. Let's keep the hips where they are and then just walk the upper body. So notice what this feels like and then continue to fold. And then again, slight bend through the knees. We're gonna place our hands in front of us and then walk our hands over to the right a little bit more. So we're in this high or this low lunge on the other side, facing the back of your mat. So we just made a little semicircle here. Both hands to the ground, left heel reaching towards the back, the front of your mat actually. Take an inhale in, and as you exhale, straighten through both legs, fold over the right. Follow your breath. We'll take this a few times like we did on the other side. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, fold. And again, this is a great place for blocks if you would like to use them. You can bring the ground a little bit closer to you, so that's always an option. Let's do 2 more. And then hold here. Really try to bring your chin and your forehead towards your shin. And then slight bend through the legs. We're going to walk the hands out over to the left now. Coming back into that wide leg stance. Inhale, flat back. Find length through the spine. And then exhale, fold. You can take the same fold with the hands underneath you. Or if you would like, you can take the hands, clasp them behind you, and then press them out and let them fall over your head, stretching a little deeper into the shoulders here. Again, you're still trying to bring the top of the head to the ground. Your chin should not be tucked into your chest unless you actually meet your head to the mat. So your chin should also kind of be reaching towards the mat in a sense. 1 more breath wherever you are. On the exhale, slowly release. Be mindful of how you're moving. Don't just drop your arms. And then slowly use your hands to press you up into a halfway lifted position. And then, like we did on the other side, without shifting the hips over, keep them where they are. And then we're going to reach over towards that left leg, and fold. And then notice what this feels like. Both sides may feel different. Start to slightly bend through the knees. The hands are going to come out in front of you a little bit. And then we're going to continue to walk them over to the front of the mat again. Pivot. Find this lunge position, but plant your hands. Let's step back into downward facing dog. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Heels come towards the ground. Gaze back behind you, maybe towards the belly button. And then on your next exhale, keeping the toes tucked under here, we're going to drop the knees to the ground and find a child's pose. So you should feel a nice stretch through the feet, but the hips are still coming down towards the heels. The forehead will find the ground. And the hands are outstretched in front of you, still active, pressing down through the palms and the fingertips. Take a few deep breaths here. Feel the back body expanding on every inhale. Noticing the sensation in the spaces between your rib cage. And then press into the palms. And then slowly bring your chest forward. Or come down to the belly here. And then meet in Sphinx pose. The toes untuck. Tops of the feet press into the ground. Shoulders are directly over our elbows. And we're pressing into the hands. Gaze is forward. Chin is slightly lifted, just so we're not crunching in the neck here, but we're also not looking straight down. Press into the ground. Continue to breathe. Active in the legs here. We kind of want a sensation like we're about to drag ourselves forward on the mat without actually doing so. But that should be the activation here. Shoulder blades should be squeezing together. Chest should be open. Heart is lifted. Collarbone is shining forward. And then slowly lower the body down. From here, we're going to drop one ear to the mat. I drop my left ear. You can bring the left foot into the left hand. And we're going to pull that foot in towards the buttocks while we simultaneously kick the foot into the hand. So we find some resistance here. And at the same time, we want to make sure our pelvis is pushing down into the floor. Top of the right foot pressing into the floor. Notice how this feels in the left hip crease. And this right hand can be anywhere. It can be next to you. It can be kind of propped up. Take a few breaths. And then slowly release the leg. This right arm is going to kind of in like a cactus shape. Again, notice how this feels in your body. You might want to raise your arm up a little bit more, lower it down, or even just take it all the way out and straighten it. And then we're going to use the left hand and press it into the ground. And then slowly start to roll over our right shoulder. So this left foot comes behind us. It can find the floor and the knee will point up to the ceiling, or you can just keep the left leg above the right leg and just swing it backwards. So you have some options. The head does not have to be on the mat. It can be. It's kind of what feels comfortable to you. And then slowly release, come back to the belly. And then just bring the right ear to the mat this time. Kick the right foot into the right hand. And then pull that heel in towards the buttocks. Press the pelvis into the ground. And breathe deeply here. Slowly release. Make whatever shape you did on the other side, on the left side. And then begin to roll over the left shoulder. You're going to have to turn your head the other way. And then find whichever stretch you did on the other side. So again, you can be here, just legs stacked. You can kick the top leg behind you. Or if you would like to go further, I'm rolling over, bringing my right knee up towards the sky. My toes are to the ground. You can bring the foot flat. I'm not that open today. So just find meet yourself where you are today, I guess I should say. Take one more breath. And then slowly release the body. And then we're just going to press back into child's pose once more. So hips over heels. This time the tops of the feet can press into the ground. You can always bring the hands behind you and let the shoulders be heavy. 3 breaths. And on your next inhale, we're just going to slowly roll the body up so we're in a kneeling position. I'm just going to move so I'm more in frame. And then we're just going to sit back on the heels. You can always sit on a block here as well. Stick it in between your legs if you have sensitive knees. And then we're just going to lift the arms up towards the sky. Again, extend through the spine, find length. And as we exhale, the left hand is going to come to the outside of the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. And then we're going to look behind the shoulder towards the wall behind you. Breathe into your twist. Every inhale lengthening through the spine, even if it's just the tiniest bit. And then exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, come back to center. This time the right hand's going to meet the ground and we're going to side bend over to the right side. Shoulders are stacked, reaching through the left pinky. You can even pop the hips over a little bit to the left if you would like. And then come back to center. Drop the left hand and then side bend to the other side. Back to center. This time the arms are going to come out wide. And we're going to take an eagle arms variation. So we're going to start by crossing the right arm underneath the left. And we're just going to give ourselves a really big hug here. Reach for the shoulder blades. And just try to reach as far towards the middle of your back as you can. Right? And then just breathe here. Try to keep your shoulders down. Gaze is in front of you. And so we can stay here in this variation, or you could begin to bring the backs of the hands together. So they're going to be crossed here. And try to bring the backs of the hands together, or if you can cross the hands so the palms are touching, or your fingers are touching the palms. So a few different options here. Find what feels good to you. I'm going to start here. And then as we inhale, we're going to take some cat-cow-like movements here. So we're going to open up through the chest, look up, bring the elbows upward. And as you exhale, bring the chin to the chest, round through the spine, and cave through the back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Again, you can take this with full eagle arms or Garudasana arms. And then the next time you find a neutral position, we're just going to cross our arms the other way. So the left arm is going to come underneath. And again, reach for the shoulder blades. Really try to walk your fingertips towards the middle of your back. And breathe deeply here. Just breathe into the back body. Notice how this feels. Notice if one side felt different than the other. And then we're going to start to move here. So inhaling, looking up, lifting the chin to the sky. Exhale, round through the back. Follow your own breath here. Maybe moving into full eagle arms as you find more space. And then release the arms. From here, we're going to come back into all fours. So we're going to walk our hands forward. Hips are directly above the knees. And then we're just going to begin to walk the hands out in front of us as the chest comes down to the ground. Press into the hands. They are parallel. Really press down through all 10 fingers. Like you're pressing the ground away from you. We're active in the upper body as the chest and the belly come towards the ground. Tailbone reaches up. We can stay here. Again, there's all different levels. You can be up here. Your forehead doesn't reach the ground, but that's what direction we're moving in. And then if you have a little bit more space, you can bring the chin to the mat and look forward. So I'm going to bring the forehead to the mat, but we have those options there for us. Take 5 breaths wherever you are. Feel pressing down through the feet and the lower body. Take a few more breaths. And then slowly pull the body forward. We're going to come into that Sphinx pose one more time here. Again, like we're pulling the body forward. Shoulders are above the elbows. Fingers are wide, pressing into the ground. Also pressing through the tops of the feet. Toes are pointing. Open through the chest. Collarbones come forward. Shoulder blades squeeze together. And then we're going to slowly lower down. Bring one ear to the mat. Whichever one, doesn't matter. Just take a few breaths here and belly down Shavasana as we prepare to close out our class. Maybe we close down the eyes here. Allow the body to be heavy. Allow the shoulders to roll forward. Relax the buttocks. Switch the other ear to the mat. Look the other way. Take a few more deep breaths here. Again, sinking into the mat. Noticing the sensations in the body. And then slowly start to turn over onto your back. If you would like to end class in a seated meditative position, you can come up and that's fine. But I invite you to allow your body to be heavy. If it's uncomfortable in the back, you can always place a blanket, a bolster, a pillow under the knees, or you can bring the feet wide and then knock the knees in to rest on each other. I'm going to stretch my legs out long and then bring the hands wherever you are out wide, palms facing up toward the sky. And then close down the eyes. Let the body become heavy. And just breathe normally. Relax.